Spiritual direction is wonderful work. It's some of the most fulfilling work that I've ever done, and I suspect you are watching this because that's true for you as well. And it's also true that spiritual direction work is really challenging. Hi, I'm Scott McRae, and I want to welcome you to this spiritual direction video. And I also want to just introduce you to my support staff, Charlie and Winnie. They have been working very hard behind the scenes to support this effort. The Spiritual Direction Learning Lab is something that I've developed to support spiritual directors and spiritual guides because the work is challenging, and I think for all of us, we want to do this work more effectively as we meet with clients and as we work with them. Over the years, I have struggled with how to grow my spiritual direction practice. When I came out of my spiritual direction training, I was so excited about inviting clients to meet with me and to just do this amazing work that we do. And I found that there were so many frustrations and challenges along the way that I just wasn't prepared for. And so in the past 20 years, as I've been working in this area and have been working to develop my own practice more fully, I've learned a thing or two that I have found really helpful. And that's what I want to share with you in this video today. I have found it very helpful to think in terms of a couple of continuums as I've really developed my approach to growing my practice. One of the continuums is an inner and outer distinction. And the second continuum is the distinction between myself and my business. Now, it may seem strange to you and a little grandiose, perhaps, to use the word business and spiritual direction. And I know for a long time I would have never thought to do so. But there came a point where I really wanted to develop my spiritual direction work beyond a hobby. And so I started reading about entrepreneurism and small business, and I've just found it's given me some very helpful perspectives. Now, if you are in that place where you really are looking to spiritual direction as a hobby, I fully support that, and that's just fine. But if you're wanting to grow your practice into something more significant, then I think these four perspectives that I'm going to be offering may be helpful to you. So when we bring these two continuums into a quadrant format, it suggests four different areas that I think can be really crucial for developing a spiritual direction practice or business. The first of these is what I call call and confidence. It's that area that develops out of our personal self and the inner work that we do in the inner awareness. The second dimension is an inner dynamic that is present in our business that I think of as structure and system. And then the third area is how we express ourselves in an outer way. And with that, I think of contacts and contributions. And then the fourth dimension is the outer dynamics, the outer dimensions of our business or our practice. And I think of that as soul and services. Now, what I have found is the order that which we attend to these is significant, and it makes a difference. So let me walk through the order that I think is most helpful as you build and grow your spiritual direction practice. So this first area is call and confidence. And this is an area that really, I think for many of us, came to us in a way that was surprising. I suspect very few of us as children had a dream of being a spiritual director. But something about our life experience has evoked this deep desire to companion with other people in spiritual journeying. And that's such a powerful, powerful claim. I suspect none of you is here by accident. And with this, you also need a certain degree of confidence in order to even be watching this video. I suspect that you've done some training with spiritual direction, and you have this deep yearning to want to do more. And so out of that confidence, it propels you to do some discovery and some learning. And I hope that what you are introduced to here will be a part of that. The second area is soul and services. So I see this soul to be a direct extension of the call that we receive. Each of us that enters into spiritual guidance work does so as a very unique individual. Similar to fingerprints, there are no two of us that will ever do this work the same, and we shouldn't do this work the same. So really discerning what you are called to do and what is fundamental to who you are is a part of this soul that we bring into our spiritual direction work. And then discerning the services becomes how we express this deep inner self, this call and this confidence, in the particular offerings that are a part of our practice. So soul and services become a really crucial thing to distinguish and to determine. And as a part of that, it may be that you want to do groups. You may want to do one-on-one work with clients. You may want to offer classes or some mix of that. It's important that you are in touch with what is true for you and not just what other people are doing. And then once you have determined your soul and your services perspective, then it becomes very helpful to start thinking in terms of structure and systems. In the same way that our bodies have a skeletal system that keep us upright and support us and really keep us alive, our spiritual direction practices and businesses also need structures and systems to support what we're up to. And these directly relate to the services that we want to offer. So some examples of these structures and systems are emails that we may want to send to interested clients. Maybe we have an information sheet that captures what we offer and how we work. Perhaps we think about a system for recording payments and even how much do we charge. All of that is a part of our structure and system. And maybe you want to develop a website and through that really communicate who you are and what you offer. So the structure and the systems becomes a crucial part of developing a healthy spiritual direction practice. And it's challenging because, again, many of us coming into this work don't think in that way, and we haven't really been supported or trained in that way. So this becomes a really important aspect for us to attend to if we want to turn our spiritual direction practice into more than a hobby and to really make it a business. And then lastly, the contacts and the contributions represent kind of the culmination of these 4 steps. So you've got a deep calling and you've developed some confidence and some nerve about bringing it into the world. You've clarified who you are in this work and what you want to offer. You've taken the time to develop some structures and some systems, and you've packaged them in ways that are going to be helpful to clients to know who you are. And in that confidence, then, you bring this out into the world. You boldly say, here is who I am as a spiritual director, and you offer yourself out into the world. And over time, when we practice in this way, I believe that we see developments and we see growth. Now, there's one more important dimension as we consider these four dimensions, these 4 steps in a way, and it's this spiral dimension that becomes so important. So this 4-fold progression is not something we do once and then we're done. It's something we return to over and over again. We keep cycling through it because we keep evolving as our practice evolves. We change and our practice changes. And there are times where we really feel the uplift of this work, and then there are other times where we seem to be going backwards. And that's all a part of the evolutionary process of this spiral and of growing an effective spiritual direction business. So it's not easy work, but it is deeply fulfilling work. And I believe that as we attend to these 4 different structures, it makes the work easier. So again, the Spiritual Direction Learning Lab is a resource for you that I hope will support you in making this work easier, and that will support you in really bringing your contribution into the world. Again, I believe that this work of spiritual direction is so needed in the world right now. There are so many people who are yearning to develop their spiritual lives. And this work of spiritual direction and guidance work can be such an important transformative aspects of a person's life. So I wish you well in that work, and as we leave, I want to offer you a couple of questions to send you on your way. So first, I invite you to reflect upon, how do you assess yourself in relation to each of the 4 quadrants? Take some time to really think about which ones are you drawn to, which ones feel like they're more challenging for you, and really spend some time in reflection. I think it'll pay off for you significantly to do so. And then secondly, as you follow your energy and excitement, what's the next step you want to take to grow your spiritual direction practice? And I think that next step is really an important piece, because we can often stay in the realm of ideas and just sort of stay in reflection and not actually do anything. So I want to invite you and even challenge you to really follow your energy and develop a next step that will help you take your spiritual direction to the next level that the world is awaiting for you to take. So thank you so much for joining me. You can find more of my work at spiritualdirectionlab.com, and I'd love to hear from you and stay in touch. Thank you